Hi everyone, so this is going to be reviewing the May 20th classwork. It's the third proportions one, and we've got a little bit of word problems here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review, first I think the most difficult non-word problem proportion, and then I'll go over one of the proportion problems that has it's a word problem. So the first thing I want you guys to do is watch these 3 videos and take detailed notes. That'll be like half credit for doing this assignment. Then I want you guys to do these problems. I've got 8 problems for you to do. And I'm going to go over 2 of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do number 24 over here. So let me just grab a screenshot of that. Alright, so first step is pretty much just like before. So let me move this. First step is like before. What we're going to do is, first we just got to cross multiply. So I'm going to do 8 times the x plus 5. And then I'm going to switch. And I'm going to do 5x minus 4 times the 6. So 8 times x plus 5. So make sure you write it out with these parentheses. Is equal to 6 times 5x minus 4. Okay. So we have 8 times x plus 5 equals 6 times 5x minus 4. So the next step is just to distribute. So we have to do 8 times x and 8 times 5. Then we got to do 6 times 5x and 6 times negative 4. So 8 times x will just give us 8x. And what's 8 times 5? That'll give you 40. So we should have 8x plus 40 on this side. Now what's 6 times 5x? 6 times 5x will just give you 30x. And then what's 6 times negative 4? It'll be negative, so 6 times 4 is 24, so it'll be negative 24. So we should have 8x plus 40 equals 30x minus 24. Okay, so now we kind of have this two-sided multi-step equation. And we want to get the x by itself. There's more than one way to solve the problem at this point. What I like to do is I like to combine the x terms, and I like to do it in a way that avoids negative numbers, just because that's a little bit easier for me. So what I'm going to do is, what gives you a negative number? Will subtracting 30 from 8 give you a negative number, or will subtracting 8 from 30 give you a negative number? So we want to do the one that will give us a positive. So I'm going to subtract 8 from 30. So we got to subtract 8x from both sides here. Okay, so it cancels on this side. What is 30 minus 8? That'll give you 22x. Okay, so I'm just going to copy down the rest of the equation. Okay, so what we have now is 40 is equal to 22x minus 24. The way we solved something like this last time is we went ahead and got rid of the number that was being subtracted or added over here. So I'm going to add 24 to both sides. Add 24 here. Add 24 here. So it cancels on this side. So now we're just going to carry down 22x. 22x is equal to, what's 40 plus 24? That gives you 64. Okay, so I'm just going to, because I'm running out of room, I'm going to bring this up here. Okay. So, and I'm going to, yeah, we got 64 is equal to 22x. So if we're trying to get the x by itself, it's 22 times x, we got to divide by 22. So I'm going to divide both sides by 22. So that cancels. So we should in the end just have x equals 64 divided by 22. So 64 over 22. And now, can we simplify that last problem? The numerator and denominator are both even numbers, so we know we can divide them by 2. So what's half of 64? That should give you 32. And what's half of 22? Should give you 11. So 32 over 11 should be your final answer. I'm going to box that. Okay, so went over that problem. Now, before I end this video, I'm just going to go over real quick this one word problem. And the reason I picked this one is because this is going to get into similar shapes, which is why I'm doing all these proportion things. You need to know your proportions pretty well to be able to work on similar triangles and other quadrilaterals. So real quick, this number 2 says a frame is 9 inches wide and 6 inches tall. If it is reduced to a width of 3 inches, then how tall will it be? So let me just get a screenshot of that. And what I'm going to solve this by just creating a proportion. So we have 9 inches wide, 6 inches tall. I'm going to say that the width, I'm going to set a proportion of width to height. So the width is going to be on the top on the numerator, the height is going to be on the bottom on the denominator. So this one we got. And those proportions are going to be equal for this particular frame. So we got 9-inch width over a 6-inch height. It's going to be equal to a 3-inch width over what height? I'm going to call this x. So if you want to solve this problem, I recommend just going through it with cross multiplication. Okay, so we're going to multiply 9 and x, and also 3 and 6. So 9 times x is 9x. And then that's equal to 6 times 3, which is 18. Okay, so next step, we just have 9 times x equals 18, so all we have to do is divide by 9 here. So I'll actually use and divide by 9, divide by 9. So the actual math of this problem really isn't too bad, it's just setting up the correct proportion that I want you guys to practice. Let's see, so we have 9 divided by 9, that cancels out, so we have x is just equal to 18 divided by 9, which should give you 2. So x is equal to 2, if you put it back in and plug a 2 back in, 3 over 2 is equal to 9 over 6, so you can check that with a calculator. So that is your answer. So I want you to try the rest of those word problems and then the rest of those more algebraic problems.